Hi, and welcome back to Wisdom from the Angels. Hi, my name is Carolyn, and everything you need to know about me is in the box below. Go ahead. If you're new, welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the family, welcome to the tribe. Please hit the subscribe button, then hit the bell so that you will get an email notification of videos when they're uploaded, and give me a thumbs up and then share it with others so that the message can become part of our universal community. Okay? And if you're an oldie but goodie, welcome back. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you following me. I know there are other people you can go listen to, and I probably do, and I do listen to some too on here on YouTube platform, and I get information that really resonates with me as well. Okay, about different things, about different subjects. And so let's get into today's topic. Today's subject is going to be part of September is Angels Month, and I'm going to be talking about Ascended Masters today. Someone sent me an email and they said, Carolyn, what is an Ascended Master? I have no idea what you're talking about, and I do use it in my invocation. And many of you probably have heard me say it, and some of you may know what they are, and some of you may not. So basically, Ascended Masters are part of the spiritual hierarchy here on Earth. They are to be revered. They are human beings who were here on Earth, who ascended to the level of the divine consciousness. That's a simple way to put it. And I'm going to give you some examples. And there are different philosophies and different ways that they are looked at. Some are seen as masters of the seven rays, different rays of light. And I'm going to go over those with you, and I'm going to put on my glasses because I can't even read my own writing. Okay, so there's 7 ascended masters who teach the pathways of the divine. And the divine would be whatever you call your creator. It could be God, it could be the universe, it could be whatever it is that resonates for you. Okay? But this particular philosophy is of the 7 ascendant masters who are representing the different pathways to the divine, 7 different pathways. And the ascended masters are considered to be human beings who walked among us at one time. And perhaps during the time while they were here, it was not, they were not anointed the ascended masters, because if, say, we revered them so much that we created a karmic situation, that would take us away from their whole purpose of being here. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about the 7 ascended masters that are attached to the different rays. Now, there are more. There are others that are, some have 12, but I'm going to give you a list, and I'm also going to show you how you can use them with affirmations, as well as some are associated with crystals. And some I do have pictures for. I don't have pictures for all of them. So, but you do know how to Google, and you can look them up and see what they look like and get more information about them if you're really curious, okay? But you can use the Ascendant Masters with the angels. So that was one of the questions. When I'm talking to the angels, can I also speak to the Ascendant Masters? Will the angels get mad? No. Can you use them with the angels? Yes. Are they there to provide more support? Yes. And if you are calling in different ones, they can also help you with transforming and transmuting your energy, such as Saint Germain. Saint Germain is considered an ascendant master, and he is connected with the violet flame. And the violet flame basically is used to get rid of all negativity and obstacles that are keeping us from ascending to a higher vibration. Okay? Another one would be Elmora, who represents courage and power and faith. Hilarion is in charge of the green Ray, which oversees health and truth. Now, if you were having some issue around healing, if you were having an issue around poor health or a health issue that just popped up, you could call on this Ascendant Master, Hilarion, as well as the Divine Physician, Archangel Raphael. And they work together. They both have the same green light, which is all about healing. It's all about us getting better and having a healthier body and having vibrant health. Okay? Now another Ascendant Master is Paul the Venetian, sorry. I told you can't read my own writing. Lady Master Nada. I spoke to you about Saint Germain. Serapis Bay can help us with ascension. We have Maha Chohan, which helps us with the evolution of being here on this planet. The Ascendant Masters have very, very tremendous powers that are very important because they bring through wisdom and compassion. So some of us are working with us all the time, whether we call them in or not, but if we call them in, we get even more assistance. And if you make them part of your spiritual team, boy, just imagine all of the assistance and guidance that you can obtain. So a few others would be Babaja. It would also be Madame Blavatsky, Buddha, Kuan Yin, Ganesh. Ganesh is the remover of obstacles. Ganesh has his own, there is a mantra. Oh my gosh. Om Gum Gana Pataye Namaha. Repeating that 108 times can remove obstacles. And it's Om Gum Gana Pataye Namaha. Okay? And you can even find YouTube videos that have that mantra on it and just listen to it over and over again to help remove any obstacles that may be in your life. Lakshmi is considered another Ascendant Master. You also have Kuan Yin, Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary. You also have Isis and Moses. And then we have goddesses like Vesta and Portia and Pavarotti and Freya. And you can call on all of them together. Now, if you were going to, now this is what St. Hilarion looks like, or is depicted as, okay? And with St. Hilarion, yes, we can believe. That is one of the things that St. Hilarion can help us with, is our belief systems. Here is St. Mary Magdalene, and she can help us with forgiveness, okay? And then we have St. Christopher, who can help us with what? Safe travel. And then we have St. Joan of Arc, very powerful leader here. St. Catherine of Alexandria, desirous of marriage, having difficulties in your marriage, or wanting a healthier marriage. Call on St. Catherine of Alexandria, okay? Really looking for more generosity in life, St. Nicholas. St. Cecilia helps musicians. St. Teresa can help us if we really need to stay on a steady path and make progress. We can call on St. Pedro Pio again, someone else, and St. Hilarion to help us with health and healing. St. Bernadette helps us to really speak our truth and in a way where we can be heard. Mother Mary can nurture us and help us to remember we are so loved. We are not alone. And then we have St. Anthony. St. Anthony can help us, especially if you've lost something. There's different saints you can call on that can help you when you lose something, and this is another one. St. Agnes says, don't compromise. Have courage. And then we have St. Francis of Assisi, who is all about the animals. And remember the angel that is all about the animals? Remember that angel? Angel Ariel, you're right. We call on Ariel to help us with our plants, nature on this planet, as well as she oversees animals, you have Saint Mother Teresa. She was an activist, and she went out and she helped heal people, and she went among the poor, and she didn't flinch. She always showed up. Okay, she didn't shy away is the word I was looking for. And if you're looking for a miracle, you can always call on the ascended master, Christ. And the reason that they include Jesus Christ as an ascended master, as well as the Son of God, is that he walked among man. And that's one of the definitions of an ascended master. Okay? Now, if we wanted to really look at a affirmation, say you were looking at Ganesh, you could say, I transform challenges with ease. And if you were working with Ganesh and you had an ametrine crystal, you could use that too. And it helps with making changes in our lives. So that's one way we can help, we can get the assistance of Ganesh. Okay? Then if we wanted some more assistance, say we wanted to use Saint Joseph of Nazarene, we could say, I take action based on angelic messages. And the crystal we could use with this is petrified wood. And this really is a crystal. You can purchase them in a crystal store or online. I have a crystal connection, and I'm going to show you my new babies next week. They're clearing right now. They're in salt, and I leave them in salt when I first get them. I heard 7 days. I got 7 new Lemurian crystals, and they have healing properties associated with them. And so we're going to talk about that next week. So come back for that one. Saint Teresa, you can say, I believe in miracles and the miraculous power of unity. And the crystal for her would be a desert rose. And that is what the crystal does look like. Oh, I was going to say, if you do want a reputable crystal connection, and I get nothing from this reference, he is Mahalo Minerals. He is in Tacoma Park, Maryland. And Gary, I've been going to Gary now, I want to say over 10 years. And Gary has some wonderful, wonderful, wonderful crystals. He has transformed his home, especially the basement of his home, into just a crystal world. You walk in, and I remember the first time I rang the doorbell and I went there to look at crystals, and he said, meet me downstairs at the back door. And I was like, at the side door. I was like, okay. And I was like, okay, I don't know where I'm going. And as the lights started to come on in the basement, I was like, oh my God, I'd be down here playing all day, every day. How do you? He says, I have so much fun and I enjoy what I'm doing. And he grew up on the island of Hawaii. So he became familiar with crystals at a very young age. And so for him to grow up and be able to have a business doing this, and he travels around the U.S. to different gemstones festivals when they have them, and he said, he was booked to go to several this year, but because of COVID could not. But if you'd like to have his information, please send me an email. I'll be glad to share that information with you. As I said, I get nothing from it other than the joy that someone has a reputable crystal person. There are a lot of things out there that are purported to be crystals and may not necessarily be that. It could be plastic. I trust Gary to pick out what I want, and since I'm not there in person. And when I got the crystals, even the pups were like, "Ooh, I like that, I like that." And some they have been very clear about, nope, they don't like that one. And in fact, there was one he sent me a Tibetan Lemurian rod. And the pups were like, okay, enough. And part of that is that it is an extremely powerful crystal. And they can feel the energy within the crystals. But getting back to Ascended Masters, St. Christopher, you can say, I am divinely inspired. And channeling quartz. Now, these are different crystals that you may not often find in your local crystal shop. That's why I suggest if you have a crystal person that you can go to. And what I did was I called Gary and I said, Gary, I need to get some Lemurian crystals. do you have any? He said, of course I do. I have them from Madagascar, I have them from Brazil, I have them from Tibet. Which one do you want? So I said, well, here's what I'm using it for, and I trust you to pick them out. And he said, how many? And I said, angels, how many? And they said 7. So I got 7. And part of it is that I need it for my healing practice when I do energy sessions on people. I also bring in the crystals at times, okay? And Gary picked them out and shipped them to me by FedEx, and I had them within 3 or 4 days. So it's not like you have to wait forever and ever and ever. And you can also have him send it where, if you want to pay for overnight. He does send it by FedEx, so there's tracking on it. And I received mine just in time for the autumnal equinox, so I was able to clear them that day and then put them into salt. And I put them into salt, I heard 7 days when I first got them. And it could be because they traveled so far and they went through a lot of different energy portals. Okay? All right, so back to the Ascended Masters. Now, if we were going to call on Mother Mary, I am an instrument of peace and love, and that could be a blue topaz crystal. Another one, and this is going to be the last one, if we were going to call in Kuan Yin. And Kuan Yin, you could say, I listen intently with my heart. And the crystal is a petalite. All right? And that helps you connect with your heart and your mind. So that's how we can use the Ascended Masters. And we can get all kinds of affirmations, as well as look up and see what their properties are. Look up and see what is needed. Or, as we say here on the channel, when you don't know who to call on, and that applies not only for the angels, but for the Ascended Masters as well, is we can say, get the flock in here. And start to really build your spiritual team. Now, that team may shift from time to time, but if you start to build your spiritual team of angels, Ascended Masters, archangels, spirit totems, your animal totems, you'll start to see them show up. So one of my spirit totems, one of my animal totems, is a dove. So last week I was sitting on a bench outside and we were social distancing with a friend and we were just chatting, and she and I do that. We just text each other, you free? I need to talk to somebody. And so we go out and we sit in the shade, and along came 5 doves. And she had just rescued one last year. It got hurt, and so she rescued the baby and still has it. The baby can't fly. And so she still has it, and it's just as happy as it can be, and it coos all the time when it's talking to her. But we saw these 5 show up, and we just both looked at each other and laughed, because we knew that dove is the sign of peace. It is also the sign when 5 show up of change and shifting. And I've been feeling that for the last 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, where there's a big shift and change coming within me. I have no idea what it is, but I welcome it. And as with all things, have an open mind, have an open heart. Sometimes we can become so skeptical and so fear-based, or we wonder, what is everyone going to think, that we block our blessings in the meantime. And all of these entities, all of these beings, I'm going to say, not energetic beings, are here, because everything is energy and we are all energetic beings, but all these high vibrational beings are here to really assist us and support us. So if you were sitting down to just do a meditation and you really just wanted to just open the floodgates, you could call in your Ascended Masters as well. And they will show up like the angels. Listen, we're going through some of the most unusual times, as they say, unprecedented. Asking for support, requesting more guidance shows that you are an empowered human being, that you have an open mind, an open heart, and that you are welcoming assistance. You are welcoming more guidance. And right now, that is what is called for, because people who are doing that are ascending very quickly. People who are doing their own spiritual work are not getting caught up in the fear and the rhetoric and all of the everyday stuff that's going on. They are able to ascend. Now, that doesn't mean that they're sitting on a pillow meditating all day long and not doing anything or not taking action. These are people who are showing up with an open heart, an open mind, and who are saying, how can I serve? They are people who are active. There are people who are showing up in different industries and across the board, able to still function even when this energy gets so dense and heavy. And when the energy gets dense and heavy and it really is overwhelming, they know when to go within instead of taking it out on everyone around them. So, if you are in need of a energy session, and an energy session can be to remove blockages, to bring in more peace and joy and harmony and calmness, send me an email. If you'd like to, just have a 15-minute free chat to kind of see what is it that you really are leaning toward. Can do that. If you want answers to questions that you're really not sure about, let's set up an angel card reading. We can do a half hour. We can do an hour. Okay? Send me an email, put it in the subject line, and let's go about really bringing more empowerment, more joy, more happiness into our lives, and doing it in a way where we feel authentic. It doesn't feel like we're mimicking someone else, and we're not waiting for permission. Okay? So, you don't have to share with anyone else what your spiritual practice is. You don't have to even tell your husband or your mama. It's your practice. It helps you. You are a uniquely divine spiritual being. Embrace it. Embrace it. You know, it seems like each day may be long, but when you look back over time, it goes by fast. Let it go by fast while you're living in joy and peace and prosperity. Okay? All right. Come on back for another session of Wisdom from the Angels. This is Carolyn. Have an amazingly wonderful rest of the day. And don't forget, when you're not sure what to do, get the flock in here. Thank you for coming back again. May your heart be filled with so much joy, peace, love, prosperity, abundance, and joy that it just overflows. Take care.